Made it. Just. Oh my God. Right, here we go. Let's time to see the year out and time to see the new year in. Quick time check. Yes, we're okay. Hello, my lovelies. How are you? Oh my goodness. Hang on, let me get my breath. It was a bit of a tight one to get here. Okay. I won't keep you too long tonight because I am knackered. But I really wanted to see the new year in with whichever of you guys are free and at a bit of a loose end. So at the very least, we'll see the new year in. We'll excuse me. We'll nip outside and see if we can see any fireworks down the hill. And how are you all? I've missed you. I've missed doing videos and I've missed doing lives. It's only been a couple of days, I suppose, but it feels like forever. And I have been working my little bum off. But yeah, awesome. Oh gosh, 10 of you. That's nice. Hi Jimmy, hi KKC, MCH underscore 419, hello. No, you're not being paid to be here. Sorry about that. I'm barely being paid to bloody be here, let alone anybody else. Ashley Stewart is with us. Gilbert Theophilus Codwacker. It's 23:57. I'm going to switch off this screen onto an official countdowny thing so that we can. Oh, Pingu Concord is with us. And a very merry new year to you too, and you are more than welcome, sir. It's been a blast. I'll talk a little bit about that after the doings, because I didn't realise, or I kind of did, but I'd kind of forgotten. It will be exactly a year tomorrow that I posted my first video. I posted my first video on New Year's Day, this year, but it'll be last year in a couple of minutes. And I don't know why I did it. I think I was just arsing about with a phone because I was at a bit of a loose end. Not long split up with Hui, with Chinese Madam, and I think I was just buggering about with stuff. So it will actually, the channel will kind of have existed for a year, but I don't really count the first 3 or 4 months because I was just like arsing about. And again, I don't know why I started to take things a little bit more seriously, but I was thinking that tomorrow, for a laugh, I might repost that first video because for those of you who haven't seen it, I mean, talk about absolute tosh. About 4.5 seconds of useless. Anyway, Gilbert's got it. Gilbert. He has his Lurpak toast rack. We're going to talk about toast racks a lot in the year to come. And it's been great fun in the group. Seeing the toast rack shenanigans. Mike is with us, Classic Wheels Wales. Good evening to you. Hang on, I need to swap screens. Look at the time. We'll carry on with the hellos. Right, 44 seconds to go. And 40 seconds to go. So, I don't know, get yourself a drink ready because we'll have a toast. And then I'm going to switch you around and we're going to go outside and see if we can see anything happening. There won't be anything happening around here, obviously. But we might catch sight of something down the hill. So yeah, 20. Grab a drink, get ready, say goodbye to 2022, however it's been, good, bad or indifferent. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year, my lovelies. Happy New Year. Here's to you. Here's to you. Now let's go outside and let's see what's happening. Now, if I can't do it, can I? I can't turn you round without stopping and starting again. I don't want to do that. I can literally just turn you round, can't I? I can do this. But I've got no idea what you can see. But, oh, can you see it? Let's just have a look. Yeah. Maybe you can't see anything at all. Maybe you can just see pitch black. But, oh, that's nice. Well, there we are. That's enough of that. Oh, lucky silly thing. Right, let's get you set back up in your normal place. Fancy walking down the road. What a silly sausage. There we are. Did you actually see any fireworks at all? Or was it just pitch black? Houston, we have a problem. Oh dear. Right, let's get caught back up. Yeah, sorry about that. That technical hitch there, my loves. I went waddling off down the road to try and get you a better view of the fireworks. You can see right over Chesterfield, and you can see over to Bolsover and to the castle. And if we'd have gone up the hill and over there a little bit, we could have actually seen Sheffield, where there might have been quite a big one. But never mind. I mean, we got a bit of fireworks, didn't we? So we've kind of ticked that box. And a very, 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 very happy New Year to you guys. And thank you for being there and singing in with me. And thank you for everything this year. Now, I haven't thought... I was going to say I haven't thought what we'd talk about for this short live tonight, but then I never actually do anyway. I made a bit of a plan for the first one, and then just rattle on about whatever. I suppose we should talk about the year that's just gone and the year that's to come. So, well, how about you give me your one Oh, what's going on there? Oh, it's all right. I'm watching myself. Oh, I'm all behind like a cow's tail on my doings. Hang on, let me catch up to myself. Right, there we are. I think that's about it. So, give me one high point from what is now last year. Shall we have a low point, or shall we gloss over that? Well, no, let's, because we can move on now, can't we? We can close the 2022 door. So, give me one high point, one low point, and give me one thing that you're planning for this new year, or that you're looking forward to for this new year. Which might well be a combination of those two things. And let's get excited about 2022 together, and let's get excited about 2023 together. Thank God we don't have to write checks these days. Oh, you used to spend a month, didn't you, when you had to write checks day in, day out, getting the bloody year wrong. Oh dear. So let's catch up with some comments. Oof. Where did I get to? Gilbert's got his Lurpak toast rack. How is it, Gilbert? Do you like it? Do you love it? For fuck's sake, not again, says Arthritis. Oh, leave it out, man. You've had a break. I've not done one of these for half a year. Happy New Year, you big lanky fud. And very happy New Year to you. Is Hardy Paddington here? I doubt it. It's family time. He's going to be doing family stuff. Happy New Year, Mr. Boaty and everyone, says Mike, Classic Wheels Wales. And very happy New Year to you. Let's hope it brings good tidings, eh? And better times. Happy 1 year anniversary on YouTube. Thank you. I don't count those first 3 months, but there you go. It was there. It happened. The shameful videos are there for everybody to see. I wish I could remember why I thought about doing it. I can't. Something must have prompted me, and I honestly can't remember what it was. KKC asks, how many subscribers this time next year, Boaty? Good question. Well, why don't you guys guess? Why don't you guys guess? Yeah, have a guess. I mean, I know what I would like, but yeah, you guys guess. You guys guess. This time next year, how many subs will I have? Let's see. Boaty, for the love of Elton John, leave your microwave open. It won't rot. Ah, is that a thing? Okay. That kind of makes sense now you mention it. There you go. I've just gone and opened it. I've been quite assiduous in wiping down the old microwave after use with a damp flannel. But yeah, I suppose, yeah, if you leave the door open, then the damp bits can dry out, can't they? And they won't. That's a very good shout, Gilbert. Thank you for that. I will do that. Happy New Year, says Jimmy Quinn, and a very happy New Year to you. MCH_419. No toast for me. Still waiting for my Lurpak toast racks. We're going to be all over these toast racks, and it's wonderful. And as we've mentioned Lurpak, a bit of brand recognition there. What is your butter of choice? Because for everyday butter, I will admit that I am a Lurpak spreadable man, and I'll prove it to you. You might think that I'm joking or jesting, and I'm not. Look, that is my everyday butter, Lurpak spreadable. Now, for posher occasions or certain things, I like to have some French salted butter, or farm butter in a nice round pat. But yeah, toast in the morning is normally Lurpak, so that Lurpak toast rack would just be a thing of immense beauty and splendour, and bring a touch of, well, undeniable joy to the breakfast table, I would have thought. Where do we get to? Happy New Year, says KKC. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year, says Gilbert, and we all wish him a very happy New Year. MCH_419 echoes those sentiments. So yeah, cheers. Oh, Chef Daniel is with us, channel member. I thought this might happen. The broadband is seriously weak tonight. Obviously, broadband is weak here because of where I am. But there's going to be a lot of people still awake and a lot of people using the broadband. So I did wonder if we might lose signal a lot. I don't think it's the ghost playing up. I think it's just, there's a little box just out there. And it's got some hamsters running around in a wheel, and that's what powers the interweb in these parts. If I think it probably gets easily overloaded, the bandwidth, if a lot of people are using it, and I guess a lot of people are going to be online at midnight at this time. It's like the old days when you used to try and text somebody to wish them Happy New Year at midnight, and you couldn't text or it wouldn't send because the network was just overloaded. Well, it's like that with broadband here. So apologies if the thing goes down. Absolutely sod all I can do about it. But, at least we've seen the new year in together, and it's not going to be a long one tonight. It really isn't, because, I am slaughtered. It's been, oh God, and tonight, What bloody hellfire. Oh, so yeah, um, it's I need to get some rest. I think tomorrow could actually be quite busy as well. And then Monday I'll be heading off to play about with the caravan. It normally takes a week or 10 days after Christmas in the year to kind of get back to normal. I've fallen into my old routine of getting chill time too late at night. So I've been going to bed at 3 o'clock lately and not getting up until sort of 10, half past 10. Which, when you're super busy, is kind of the only way that you can do it. Because when you've had an incredibly busy service, um, you wind down a bit in the car coming home, but only a bit. And you can't come home and just immediately eat and go to bed. You have to have that. It's the same as if you guys work 9 to 5. You don't get home at 6 o'clock and go to bed, do you? You have a whole evening where you chill out and eat and relax and do the bits and pieces that you need to do. And I kind of need to do the same. It's just I don't get home until bloody midnight or gone midnight. Um, so I've kind of been having my couple of hours and finally hitting the sack at like 3 o'clock in the morning and getting up late. So it's a necessary evil with the time of year, with the busyness, but things will go quiet after this weekend, or quieter anyway. We're never really quiet because we're quite a popular restaurant. I mean, we've been voted Curry House of the Year a few times, so we're never super quiet, but we will be quieter, and I'll get a chance to get back to something a bit more like normal, and I can be up at a reasonable time in the morning and start doing stuff with cars and videos and whatnot, because I've got amazing plans for this year and I'm so excited about it. I mean, there'll be all of the usual stuff. I'm hoping to buy a new car at some point. Um, and What else am I excited about? I'm obviously excited about the caravan. That's going to be amazing. What else is planned for this year? Expect to fucking hell. Ugh. Oh, that's the normal stuff now. The nice stuff is no longer on offer. So I've gone back to the normal stuff. And it's just about palatable if it's cold enough. And this isn't cold enough. I need to get some out of the freezer and make it colder. Yeah, too warm. But I was saying, expect to see me at some car shows and meets this year with the caravan. And I'm looking forward to that. And I'm really looking forward to doing some exciting collaborations with other YouTube channels and discussing this tricky chaps words. Discussions about collaborations are going on in the background, and hopefully there'll be more to tell you about that jolly soon. So let's catch up with everybody. Where do I get to? Oh, Mr. Steve Bull 01. Happy New Year, Sir Boaty. Happy New Year to you. Thanks for being with us, mate. Houston, we have a problem. Yeah, that was when I went too far down the road. Silly me. Are they Russian cruise missiles? Hopefully not. I doubt that Windy Bottom is high up on Putin's hit list. Simon is with us. Happy New Year, says Project MGTF, and the same to you, sir. The lovely Tracy Pattison is with us. One of the 2 official channel Traces with an E. Thank you very much. Happy New Year to everyone, she says, and Happy New Year to you. Gilbert says all the nutters are there again with the fireworks, scaring animals. Yeah, unfortunately. Simon says, sounds like people are starting the new year by burning money around here. It's like downtown Beirut here in Bromsgrove, says KKC. Bromsgrove, home of Charlie's Kebabs. Um, to which Simon replied, just now or always. Um, Bromsgrove used to be a fun place back in the day. Probably still is. And then I don't know the tune to this song. Boaty, here's Mr. Boaty. He keeps us company when we're alone. I don't know the tune. I don't know the tune to sing it to. Otherwise, I would sing it to you. Martin North is with us. Good evening, Martin, and says Happy New Year, everyone. And Happy New Year to you. Simon says no one wants to see Sheffield. Harsh. Sheffield is not without some charm underneath in places. I don't mind Chef, it's okay. Attercliff's a bit dodgy. God almighty. I had to deliver in Attercliff for a couple of weeks. Literally every other building is a brothel. And half of the ones that aren't brothels are some sort of sex toy emporiums. Dear me. God, you wouldn't be short of something to do on your lunch break, I can tell you that. Close to Longbridge, so plenty of things on fire. How is Michael, says Simon, Project MGTF, referring of course to my new microwave. And my new microwave is absolutely splendid. He's performing most awfully well. I enjoy the wipe cleanness of him. I enjoy the flatbed, low loading type thing. And now that Gilbert has helpfully told me to leave the door open for a bit to let him dry out, I'm hoping that we will have a long and fruitful, I'm so sorry, relationship. It's like Ukraine here, says Arthuritis, fireworks everywhere. Oh, we've got a high point of the year. I want to hear high points of 2022. Well, at least one high point, a low point of 2022 that we can shut away and move on from, and then something that we're planning and or looking forward to in 2023. So share it so that we can all share it together, as if we all just made up a great big bathful, one of those big baths that rich people have, full of angel delight, and we all stripped down to our vest and pants and jolly well jumped in all together. What a nice thought. Right, Simon weighs in with a high point, getting to 100 subs. Yep, just before the end of the year, our Simon, he's one of our own, on his Project MGTF channel, reached triple figures, the big milestone of 100 subs. So congratulations to you, young sir. I remember when I did it, and it was a really big thing, actually. It was like a little pat on the back to say, yeah, okay, you might not be perfect, you might still be on a learning curve, but you're doing something right. So yeah, good on you, dude. Arthritis is whapping in with an oat whap. Sally James from Tiswas. Okay, here's your first feature quiz. Have I done this one before? Yeah, I think I have done it before, so I won't do it again. I will do it again. What the hell? I'll repeat myself. I don't care. What does Tiswas stand for? Okay, go for that. MCH underscore 419. Who? Your name is Matthew, isn't it, sir? Do you prefer Matthew, Matt, Matty, Mathieu? I mean, I like to mention all of your channel names because hopefully if you've got like active channels, people will go and look at them. But I would like to know your actual names as well so that I can refer to you in a more chummy way. I'm gradually learning some of them, but I'm a bit old and thick and it takes a while to sink into the old noggin. Anyway, so MCH underscore 419, who will let us know what he likes to be called in terms of a first name, comes up with a low point. Skoda Superb required 1,500 quid for DMF. repairs. That's yeah. High Point swapped Superb with DMF issues for Streetwise with issues. Yeah. And found you. Bless you. Yeah. I mean, jumping onto my my High Point, it's got to be the channel. It's got to be starting this. It has been a total game changer, and I couldn't be happier. And to demonstrate that, I will right now live for your delectation and delight. I am going to clutch my little tinkle with excitement over starting this channel and everything that's happened this year. 3, 2, 1, clutch. There's quite a feeling of comfort to be had from clutching one's little tinkle. I mean, you know, not buggering about in any way or anything like that, just clutching it reassuringly, just being reassured that that it's still there and it hasn't fallen off like other things do when you get older. Anyway, that's probably enough clutching for this New Year's Day. Oh, really? Pinga Concord says, best live stream of the year so far. And I imagine that's because I went walking down the road and it turned off and gave you a bit of peace and quiet. Tracy, one of the 2 official channel Traces with an E, thank you, says, High Points, Auntie's 90th birthday, low my knee in the rain. Low my knee? Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but that's life. I'm looking forward to going on more little trips, including to Knaresborough. I'm looking forward to lots of little trips. And you know what? It's the new year now. We've done Christmas. We've done the winter solstice. We've done New Year. We are now on the way to spring. So a big feature of every single live stream. Look what I've got going on here. Isn't it absolutely wonderful? I'm quite enjoying this. Stop it. Stop it, please. Can you try and just take this a little bit seriously? People are giving you their time and you're asking about like a drunken Andy Pandy. Come on, pull yourself together, please. I do apologise. Yeah, so we're going to have, we're going to make it a feature to talk about all of the trips that we're looking forward to. When we get the longer days again, and yeah, let's start getting a bit, you know, a bit excited about it, because anticipation is half the pleasure. Now then, KKC chimes in with a High Point. Delivery of money. Oh, God almighty. This is the guy that gives us food envy on a nightly basis. And he's now about to do it with cars. High Point. Delivery of my new BMW. Oh, I thought it said 5 Series, but no, it's worse. It's an 8 Series. Delivery of my new BMW 8 Series last January. You posh bugger. Low Point, some see, driving into it 3 days ago. Sorry to hear about that. BMW 8 Series. Now, I've got no idea what the current 8 Series looks like, but I was very fond of the old 8 Series, the original 8 Series. And I did have a V12 850, and I thought it was rather fabulous. I'm not a big BMW fan, but I liked my 850, and I had a 635, and I liked that as well. Now then, oh, Ron McCulloch is with us. Evening, Ron. Thank you for joining us. Low point of 2022. Moving into my bungalow, everything went wrong. Oh yeah, it's one of the most stressful times, isn't it? Moving house, one of the most stressful things that anybody can do. And I guess moving into a bungalow, especially if you were moving from a house and downsizing and trying to adapt and squeeze stuff in, I can imagine that that would have been a rough time. High point, ordering my Vauxhall Grandland, which sounds very posh. Again, I've got no idea what that is. I'm terrible with modern cars, haven't got a clue. MCH underscore 419. Might have a beer, not had one since last year. We see what you did there. I have a toaster winging its way to me, says Tracy Patterson, who is one of the 2 official group Traces, both with an E. You know it makes sense. I've been watching too much Blot Outdoors. I mentioned him a week or 2 ago. It's a YouTube channel. And I said, look, I watched this video by accident and I don't really get it. It's a guy who just camps in weird urban places and gets extremely drunk. And I've really got into the channel. I think it's great. I'm really enjoying it. I'm watching like an episode a night. And you know what it's like when you watch somebody and you start to pick up on their mannerisms or their phrases, especially the ones if they keep repeating it, and you know it makes sense. I need some catchphrases. Have I got any catchphrases? Don't touch that bloody knob. That's the only one I can think of. Right then. Anyway, Tracy has a toaster winging its way to her, so splendid. I think we're moving on to guessing how many subs I'll have this year. And Jimmy Quinn has gone for 5,000. Son of Jack 1971, which is the year I was born. Good year that. 5k would be monumental. It would. Should I be honest or tactful? Honestly, I'm hoping for more, but should probably set my expectations low. Simon says, low point medical stuff, best left in the past. Absolutely. Just sweep it into the bin of memories or non-memories. KKC, subscribers with your rate of growth, 10k with a question mark. Yeah, that was what I was kind of aspiring to or hoping for. But, hope springs eternal in the human breast. Oh, your second quiz question of the night. What is that a quote from? Author and title, please. Hope springs eternal in the human breast. I'll be with you in a minute. I just need to get some wine. So, subscribers, I don't know. I mean, it might all go completely tits up. And I might end up with, fewer than I've got now. But I'm hoping that, that wasn't supposed to happen. I'm hoping that doing some collabs with some bigger channels, or better channels, or both, might help shove me up the ladder a little bit. And I'm kind of getting a little bit better at the video thing. I mean, they're not good, but they're slightly less awful sometimes. And I'm really hoping that having the caravan is going to kick things off a bit. Because the idea of Mustard and I in a 2-berth caravan is just too funny. I mean, people I would imagine that people new and trying to get their heads around caravanning would be quite good content anyway. But when the new people are 2 hairy old farts, both over 6 foot tall, in a 2-berth caravan, that's got to add another element to it, hasn't it? And the caravan is cute and going to get cuter. And if I actually go through with my idea of these Monday night sort of semi-wild camps, which I genuinely plan to do, and I'm genuinely excited about, that would be good content as well. And those channels do really well. So I'm hoping to attract some of those kind of peeps as well to the madness. Because, oh, here's a question. Again, going back to last year, right? I kind of assume that most of you lot, most of my viewers, my friends, my chums, my lovelies, I assume that you're kind of generally car peeps, and either found me because of the cars, or more likely found me via Mustard, which probably still means that you're car peeps, because you wouldn't be watching Mustard if you weren't car peeps. I know a couple of you have, or at least Tracy has come in from singles, but let me know, how did you find me and this channel? I'm sure for the vast majority it's going to be through Mustard, but anybody who didn't find me through Mustard, I'd love to know how you found me and what was the first video you watched, and what in God's name are you still doing here? God's sake. Let's see. Door open and switched off for the win. Oh, we're back to the microwave. Oh, I've still got the door open. I suppose you need to switch it off so the light isn't on. That's a really good tip. I'm going to start doing that. Ron McCulloch says, wipe your microwave after use with the dry cloth. That's a good idea. Frank Whittle says, Boaty, your picture is blurry. Well, you're clearly pissed, aren't you? Do you want me to give you a wipe? Maybe you picked up something when you were outside. Hang on. I haven't wiped the old iPhone 6 for a while. Right, my loves, prepare to be wiped. Where's the doings? Is it this one? Not actually sure what I'm wiping. Any better? No, it's not a good look. Right, well, you've had a wipe. You can't say I haven't treated you for the new year. Oh, and before I forget, I am going to do the Blackjack Masterclass. I'm thinking of doing it as a separate thing because not everybody's going to want to watch it. So I thought, see how next week pans out. But if it's nice and quiet, then, and I think I'll do it live because I want to do it, I want to give you the proper playing experience. So what I'm thinking is, move the camera in, probably use the big tripod and angle it down, and I will play the part of the dealer. So I will deal, I'll be the house, and we will actually play blackjack live so that I can talk you through it and you can actually see. And I'll go into everything with you. I'll tell you all the odds, all the probabilities, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. And I'll explain all of the intricacies like splitting and when you should split, and doubling and when you should double, and all of that. So that if you ever wanted to go into a casino and make your 20 or 30 or however much you want to have a bit of fun with, if you want to make it last as long as possible and, you know, hopefully actually come away with a bit of a profit, I'll show you all of that. But I'll do it separately because, as I say, not everybody's going to want to see that, although it could be fun. So we'll do like the Monday Live and the Thursday Live, but I might do for a week or two, I might do blackjack masterclasses, shorter ones on Tuesday and Wednesday. No point banging on too long because it's kind of it'll be too much to take in and you'll forget. If we do it in short bursts and repeat them and actually play live, then it'll sink in. Because I had to learn, I had to be taught, and I was also taught by an expert. So yeah, we'll do that. Boaty, your picture is blurry. I wiped you. Hopefully I'm less blurry. KKC says, butter, I like Katie Price. What? I like Katie Price. Is that, I don't know, is that some sort of joke that she spreads like butter? Possibly. But that does open up a new feature for gents and ladies. Katie Price, aka Jordan, would you? Anyway, butter of choice, says Simon. I like any butter. No, some butter is pants. You can't like any butter. Tracy says I try to get Welsh butter. Yeah, I like some nice salted Welsh butter, Welsh or French. I'm happy with either. In fact, when I lived in Wales and used to shop at the Asda up on Dowlais Top, I can't remember the name of it, but there used to be a lovely round Welsh butter that fitted perfectly in my Welsh butter pot. That is Welsh, that is. The one I showed you earlier. Mr. Steve Bull 01 has got a Lurpak butter dish. Ooh, we haven't got onto butter dishes yet. That would be the perfect breakfast table accompaniment to the Lurpak toast rack, wouldn't it? Right, okay. Yeah, I understand that. Mike says Welsh butter is beautiful. It certainly is. Welsh, everything is beautiful. Broadband users, tell them to get off the internet. There's important streaming to do. They'll all be video calling each other, asking what the weather's like. Yeah, normally by midnight, everybody's asleep in this little sleepy bit, apart from Nick, who was a high-ranking policeman and is used to keeping odd hours, although he's hardly been there since he retired. He's retired with an amazing pension. Nick is my neighbour who's got the amazing car and motorbike collection. God, he's got some nice stuff. And since he took early retirement, he buggers off around the world half the time, especially in winter. Anyway, that's by the by. In it. I've been doing a lot of pie baking, so I've been using Tesco butter. But funnily enough, I've already decided to swap to Lurpak since the toast rack purchase. I'm 100% weirdo. Well, nothing weird about that. Lurpak butter is splendid. In my opinion, it is the best of the spreadable butters, although President isn't too bad. But yeah, I would put Lurpak as the #1 spreadable pseudo butter. Anyway, hashtag Lurpak Life. Yeah, we're going to be using that. Sounds like a post-gig buzz, hard to relax after a gig. Well, I've spoken about that many times. We used to get back to my place, 1 or 2 trucks of us, and we would all just unload, and in summer we'd all be on the front lawn at 5 a.m. drinking and eating curry. Happy days. Will you do a video on chips? Do you mean casino chips or ET chips? I will happily do a video on ET chips. I make good chips, I do. Forget your triple cooked chips, quadruple cooked chips in this house. Okay. Oh, James Wilson is with us. Happy New Year, he says, and a Happy New Year to you, sir. Lovely to have you with us. We have our first hidden comment. This will be filth. Cat went out at 10 to 11, came back in at 10 past midnight after watching the fireworks and then fucked off to her bed. I'm not lonely, you're lonely. That's cats for you. Yeah, you know what they say? Dogs have owners, cats have staff. 10 to 12, not 10 to 11, right. Yeah. Oh, Stephen is with us. Stephen S. Paul, our American friend. Evening, English people, and good evening to you, sir. Ron McCulloch says, Happy New Year. Oh, and then asks, have you ever driven a bus? I have, Ron, a long, long time ago. I drove a Routemaster double-decker, a very old one with a steering wheel like that and a crash box. But I've got kind of a thing about buses, and I would love to drive a sort of mid to late 70s Leyland National. In fact, if I ever won the lottery, which is unlikely because I don't do it, I would like to buy one and convert it into a camper, or just keep it as a bus and take people somewhere. But I would love to drive a Leyland National with the I've forgotten the official name for it, but it's kind of a semi-auto, isn't it? With some sort of automatic declutch, and you have to pause. So it does an auto declutch in between dropping out of a gear and slotting into the next. I think, judging from your Facebook profile, I think you are or were a bus driver. Is that right? So you can probably tell me loads of stuff, and I'd love to hear it. How rude. I'm watching you on my phone and people are texting me. It's my phone, not theirs. So, what can you do? Simon used to work at Virgin Media in Attercliffe. Yeah, I mean, the idea of Virgin and Attercliffe being used in the same sentence is kind of amusing. For those of you who don't know, Attercliffe, and specifically the Attercliffe Road, is like the red light district of Sheffield. In fact, I think they did a TV series. Well, I know they did a TV series about one of the brothels there a few years ago now. There was a pub there called Cocked Hat that was great. Again, says Simon. Where we've got 2 restaurants. We're going to be, that's something else. We're going to be opening more, and that's really super exciting. And we're going to be doing something with our main restaurant. The restaurant where I base myself at is kind of the little brother restaurant. The main restaurant, we've bought the building. It was a lease, and we've now bought it outright, and we've got plans for it. Turning the it used to be a pub back in the day, and it's got this huge upstairs that has just been empty, wasted space all the time we've been leasing it, and we couldn't really do anything with it because to do any of the things that I wanted to do with it, I like the idea of turning it into Airbnb accommodation, probably single suites for travelling business type peeps, but we couldn't do that because we would have to fit external entrances. At the moment, the only way upstairs is through internal staircases, and we'd need external access to do any of the things that we've been talking about doing. And obviously, when it's a leased building, we're not going to throw any structural money at it, and the landlord certainly had no interest. But now that we've bought it outright, we can actually do some of these things. Why am I talking about this? Oh, I remember. But the restaurant I based myself at, and the one that was in the video of Christmas Day, is like the little brother poor relation restaurant. Although we're going to be doing a major refurb on that in the year ahead, because it's a bit tired looking. Again, used to be a pub back in the day, and then was an Indian restaurant owned and run by a lovely Indian gentleman called Naz, who continued to live upstairs after he kind of gave up the business, and we leased it from him. Naz was lovely, sadly passed away quite recently. I used to nip upstairs and look after him a bit, make sure all of his electronics were working so he could be in touch with his family. And he had emphysema, I think, and other medical issues. He was a bit poorly, but I used to do what I could and kept his car going so that he was under. I mean, he had plenty of money, and he had family, but the family all lived very distant, and he was sort of emotionally tied, and he eventually gave up living above the restaurant. And he was a rich guy, and he owned the house kind of almost next door or opposite where his family lived. And when the tenant that he had in there moved out, he finally moved down there, but he kind of left it too late and died about a month later. So he only had about a month of actually living in the heart of his family. Anyway, the point I was trying to make was that restaurant is in a town called Ripley in Derbyshire, and almost directly opposite the restaurant is a brothel, a very long established brothel. And it was Simon talking about the pub in Attercliffe. But the point is that next door to the brothel is a pub, and hilariously it's called the Cock Inn, which makes me giggle every time I walk or drive past it. We always called it a microwave in our family, no idea why, and always get funny looks when I say it to people. Well, that's their problem. 2023, says Simon, hit 500 subs by August. I reckon you'll do that, mate. Yeah, I reckon you'll do that. No problem at all. Keep the content coming. You've got a really good little network going. You go out of your way to push other people's channels, and the same will work. The same will work back at you. And you're part of what's becoming a really thriving little network with the lovely Rob, Mr. B&B, and some others, and the lovely Jim, of course, Shoestring Shed. And I reckon that we're all going to thrive in the year to come. So 500 subs in August, go for it. I reckon you'll monster that, mate. Another high point. This is from James. Probably my high point was Pride of Longbridge and the BMC and Leyland show at the British Motor Museum. Seeing the last 75 and all those amazing Jags. Oh, and low point, yeah, of course. His granddad passed on 13th of October, and yeah, many of us, probably most of us, have been there, because we're all probably a little bit older than you. So, sincere condolences, mate. Somebody's done the tears wells. Well done. Today is Saturday, watch and smile, correct? Oh, MCH_419. Yeah, it's Matthew, Matthew, or Matty. I'll let people choose. There you go, folks. It's your choice. You come across as a bit of a Matt to me. A double T Matt. Ron McCulloch says, "'Tis whilst today is Saturday, watch and smile." Yeah, well done, mate. You got it too. James says, another low point, the 45 going, which was a memory of my granddad as well. Yeah, I know. James and I spoke about the car at a Project Nigel, mate. But James, I'm going to be doing everything I can to buy that car, because I fell in love with it when I saw it. So even if you won't have it, then hopefully it will still be in our little community, you know, and you'll see it. And if it does happen, you know, I promise you it will be very well looked after. If it comes off, and if it'll kind of be, I would imagine, like Pride of the Fleet and the show car, along with Sheeson. I really do love that car. So yeah, fingers crossed I can make it happen. The only problem is it might be coming a bit too soon in the year when all the bills and everything are super high. But yeah, I'm really going to try, James. Let me see. As it was technically his last car when he got it in December 2021, and eventually became my second car, but a high point. Star spokes, real wood dash and steering wheel, and torpedo badges to my 75. For those who don't know, James has got a 75, Rover 75, and it's the 1.8 turbo, and he's very proud of that. And James, if I may, I would love to drive it sometime. I've not driven a 1.8 turbo. Many people say that it is the one to have, the cream of the crop, with the performance of the V6, but better fuel economy. And obviously, I've got an MG ZT 190, the 2.5 litre V6. I'd love to drive a 1.8 turbo and compare them. Mike, classic wheels rails. Low point having chemotherapy. Nobody can argue with that. Again, oh dear me, was it a second bout? High point getting off it in February. That's February to come, yeah? Fingers crossed, counting down the days for you, mate. Tracy's got an E, and here's me worried I'll be judged for my herbal medication. Well, I mean, you know, what you get up to in the privacy of your own bungalow is kind of your own business, isn't it? If you're not hurting anybody else, just don't tell us, and then we won't know. Yeah, don't ask, don't tell, probably. It's a divisive thing, and I won't, excuse me, I won't go into it, or not now anyway, but people tend to be quite black or white on the subject of herbal remedies. Let me see. Oh, that's nice. Ashley Stewart, high point, week in Yorkshire. That is a high point. God's own county. Low point, having to take my S-Type off the road. You've got an S-Type, have you? Tell us about that. And why did it have to come off the road? Let me guess, it was rotten. Am I right? Am I right? Matt says, I don't have a brand new BMW, but I've got homemade meat and potato pie and apple crumble in the fridge. Then you are a rich man indeed, sir. Oh, blimey, it's Mike's third go at chemotherapy. So, yeah, I can imagine you are pissed off, but you just keep on beating the bastard. We're all behind you. We're all sending you positive thoughts and vibes and love. Let's hope this year is the year that you finally put it on its arse once and for all. The problem living in a small Derbyshire town is the New Year fireworks start at midday and go on until 4 in the morning, because most of the daft buggers around here can't tell the time. Oh, and he rectified that, Derbyshire town. Where are you, Matt? You probably told me before, but are you Hena way? Somewhere around there? You're not far from me, are you? Well, you're not far from the restaurant anyway. I'm sure you're somewhere around there. I give up. I still can't use a keyboard in 2023. I'm going back to 2003 and my Nokia. Oh, feature, what was your first mobile phone? That'll be a good one. Get those coming in. 8 series was a replacement for 6 series. I pay more for my car than my mortgage though, so I'm the fool. I bet it's an immense car though, isn't it? God, if you're ever up this way, can I have a look at it and imagine what it must be like to have money again? I didn't know the 6 series had been replaced. I thought the new 6 series, I thought that looked fabulous. I would have, it's a car I would have been looking at if I hadn't had the misfortune to have been taken poor. Tracy with an E, one of the 2 official channel Traces, has corrected herself and she's got a toast rack on the way, not a toaster. Steve Bull, 01. No real low points, good, that's a good year. High points, finding yours and Mustard's channel, a great year ahead. Thank you for that. I'm really looking forward to the year ahead with Mustard, and obviously finding Mustard's channel and then becoming friends with Mustard and doing stuff together. That's obviously factors into one of my high points. It's such a laugh, it really is. And we laugh more in person than probably comes over on the videos. But hopefully, if we do the shows and get socials going and stuff, I want to meet all of you this year. Let me see. Matt says, I'll go with an average of 500 new subs a month for 2023. No. So how many would that be? 500 a month multiplied by 12, that would be 6,000 plus the however many I've got at the moment. Also, that would be about between 7,000 and 8,000 subs. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? That would be. How many subs do you have to be one of the big channels? Who are the big channels? Hubnut's got 98. Steph has got, how many has Steph got? About 30? About 30k. Matt's got what, 60k, 70k? And James pisses all over everybody. He's got over 250,000, hasn't he? I still feel intimidated by that pepper grinder, says Simon. So you should. How about making notes for the New Year stream next year so we can remember who guesses your questions correctly? Well, as long as they're here in the comments, we can always go back and look, can't we? Because if you didn't know, if you re-watch a live stream, you can watch the comments live as if you're watching it live. You just have to press a little button. Did anyone see Steph of iDriver Classics video today talking about her 10 stone weight loss? It was brilliant. Yeah, I watched that this morning, and I'm a little bit conflicted about it. I'm delighted for her weight loss. I'm delighted that she's in a better place than she was. I mean, it was, it was quite shocking to hear how low she actually was prior to the surgery. I thought she was very brave to be as honest and open about it as she was. But the reason I'm conflicted is because, I don't know if I can say this. It seems like a hell of a price to pay. There's the trauma of the surgery, there's the cost, it was 10.5 grand. And then there's the awful side effects. I mean, however long gone it is, and she's still throwing up 2 or 3 times a week. Certain food is a trigger for vomiting. Hair loss, the bad skin, I don't know. I'm probably going to say something now that I shouldn't say. And you can hate me for it, and you can flame me for it, if you wish to. No, I probably better not say it. Had I? I'm delighted for her. I thought she was incredibly brave doing the video. I just think I'm conflicted because just the price she's paying is so high. And I wonder, no, I'm not going to say that directly. All I will say is that people say they're big boned and stuff like that, and people say, just because I'm fat doesn't mean that I eat too much, and that's kind of true. And I know that because I've got a predisposition to being overweight. It's a genetic thing, it runs in the family. You have 2 types of, you hear people talk about a faster metabolism. There are 2 sorts of fat cells. There are brown fat cells and there are white fat cells. And we all have a mixture of the 2. Now then, the mixture that you get is partly down to luck and partly down to genetics. Now, if you have more brown fat cells than white, you can kind of eat what you like and you're going to be thin. If you've got vice versa, more white than brown, then you can eat a normal diet where other people will be thin and healthy and you'll be fat. And I'm one of those people. Believe it or not, I'm careful with what I eat. And bear in mind that I was a professional athlete. Now, left to my own devices, even eating healthily, I will be fat. My father was also an athlete, and left to his own devices, he was naturally fat. My grandfather was an Olympic athlete, and again, left to his own devices, he was fat. Now, in order for me not to be fat, I can't go at it with a single prong approach. I can't control my weight purely through diet, because I would have to have such a ridiculously tight calorific intake that I wouldn't be able to function. It has to be a two-pronged approach of diet and exercise, because it's a two-way thing. There's the amount of calories that you ingest, and there are the amount of calories that you burn off. Now, I could train. Now, there's being fat and there's racing weight. My racing weight was 12.5 stone. I'm 6'5", and I'm a big lump. And I used to be really quite muscular, and muscle weighs more than fat. And my racing weight is 12.5 stone. And to get to my racing weight, I had to train at least double what any of my teammates did, and probably triple. Those guys, they could get away with doing their fast twitch training. I had to do a ridiculous amount of base training, allied to careful diet, to get the weight down. Otherwise, I was always carrying. And it took me quite a long time to learn that. So I needed to be putting in kind of best part of 1,000 miles a week, just base training, before I started doing any speed training, to control my weight. And even now, if I'm not active, then even without changing my diet, even if my diet is still good, I pile it on. And when it comes to extreme solutions for weight loss, given that the price is so high, all I would say is that me personally, I would want to explore every avenue prior to going down that route. And by every avenue, I mean a combination of diet and exercise, because I would rather do, even if it's relatively extreme exercise, than go down a surgical route. Maybe that's not possible. Maybe surgery is the only option, and I'm not singling anybody out. I'm not talking about Steph. Only Steph knows her own situation. I'm just talking generally. But yeah, I would want to explore that route, because to me, I would rather have a constant daily training regime than have to endure surgery and all of those horrendous side effects. Because the training, it's kind of a win-win, because as any athlete of any sort will tell you, training releases endorphins, and you will get a better high from training than you'll get from chocolate, cocaine or sex, which is why ex-athletes so often turn to alcohol and drugs and whatnot. Just ask Tyson Fury. He's recognised now that in order for his mental health to remain relatively constant and the head to be relatively above water, he has to train. And that's true for many people. I'm lucky. I went through that. when I was forced to retire from my athletic career through injury. But I managed to find other things to replace it, and I never went down a drug route. I probably drink too much alcohol, but sometimes that's kind of just the right amount. And I certainly don't. I might technically drink too much, but I don't drink too much. If you know what I mean. So one last thing on the weight loss. I turned into a proper chunky monkey at a point. When was it? It was probably when I was in my 30s, and then when things changed, and in my late 30s or whenever it was, I started working for Sainsbury's and started doing 90-hour weeks in a really, really active thing. And I didn't change my diet at all, and I lost 6 stone in 4-5 months. And that was just through that extra activity. But it was, strenuous activity. And I felt so much better for it that I decided I didn't want it to go back on. So now I'm a little bit fat. I'm a little bit fatter than I want to be at the moment. But that's a winter thing. That'll come up in summer. So now I've got a balance of a reasonably careful diet, reasonably active, and I'm a little bit fat, but it's not getting in the way of life too much. Anyway, that's enough of that. But yeah, I mean, the main thing is that I did watch a video. I'm so happy that she's in so much of a better place, and that's the main thing. The decision was the right one for her. She said she'd do it again in a heartbeat. So yeah, and above all, I just think she was so fucking brave to make that video the way she did, and with the level of honesty that she did. So hats off to her, and I wish her every continued happiness. Right, would you like a wipe, sir? Oh, suit you, sir, suit you. Found mustard via car tubes. Love all the car tubers. Can't come out tonight. I'm wiping my iPhone 6. Yeah. I took this seriously for a minute. It's Matt. I've decided to try acting for a career. I've got my first audition this week. It's for a small part in a porno. We can see what you did there. Simon, I'm off to the motorist in the morning with Henrietta. Oh, Henny, going out on a jolly. So I'll say my goodbyes now, folks. Take care all, have a great day soon, and have a great day tomorrow. Catch you all soon. Have a great day, Simon, if you're still watching. Maybe you're not. But I'm sure we'll have a video on his channel to look forward to about that. Katie Price butter equals easily spread. Yeah, I thought so. Would I? No, couldn't deal with the grief, and it's seen a bit of life now. You're not kidding. Ron, our friend Ron McCulloch says, I worked at the Leyland National Factory at Lilyhall near Workington. Then you can tell me everything that I need to know about the Leyland National. And if you know anybody who's got one and would let me drive it, that would be a dream come true. It was my bus when I was a kid. That was a bus we went to town on. That was a bus we went to school on. And I would love to drive one. I really, really would. And Ron carries on. The Leyland National has semi-automatic or fully automatic gearboxes as options. With a semi-automatic gearbox, there is no clutch, just a small joy-like gear selector which you change gear with. Yeah, I remember. It's that little joystick there on your right-hand side, isn't it? Sort of mounted up on top of the door there on the right. And I'm sure that with the doesn't it do an auto double declutch, and that's why you have to pause in between moving gears. Once you have converted, take 32-week Take 32-week Airbnb income, then refinance against increased market value. Take your cash out and go again, a common model. Um, ah, um, right. To be honest, I don't think those guys would actually need to, I don't think they'd need to refinance. They've just got cash everywhere. They buy land willy-nilly like it's going out of fashion. But thanks for that and good shout. Have you got a price list for the brothel? Go online. It's called Enigma Spa Ripley. So yeah, if you search for that online, Enigma Spa Ripley, that's the brothel. The restaurant is almost opposite. What a great day out. Hit the brothel and then come to us for a bit of tea. Thank you, Boaty. I appreciate it, mate. I want to keep my 75 and eventually when I can get a 75 V6. No worries, James. Well, you know, we'll keep in touch, and I'll let you know what's going. Actually, you could do me a favour. Just ping me a PM and let me know anything you can about the car and why you had to get rid. Just so I know what to keep an eye on and what to look out for. My first phone was some sort of Motorola, I believe, mid to late 90s. Oh, and Matt's in Ilkeston. Oh, jolly good. V6 engine versus turbo. I've had experience of the Audi variants, always V6 for me, purely for the noise. Yeah, I suspect it might be for me too, but I'd love to try the 1.8 turbo. Oh, and KKC says I'd be very welcome to drive it. 340 brake horse. I'd love that. I would love that. Even to look at it would be nice. Live life vicariously. Finding mustard. Now there's a feature. No rot, it's like new. The head started blowing but should be back on the road by the end of Feb. Oh, this is Ashley Stewart and his S-Type. Been in my family since new, was my dad's before he passed. Midnight black with dove grey leather, 2.5 litre V6. Is that the facelift then? I had a 2.5 litre V6 facelift. Mine was red. First phone, a Ford Mobile, which was a Ford badge Motorola, offered with new Ford in the 1990s. Matt has 81k, check today. Does he? He's catching Hubnut up, isn't he? Right, 81. By God, that is getting up there. I would love to meet Matt. Mustard says he's the loveliest guy, and he certainly comes across as the loveliest guy. And I would genuinely love to meet him. Hopefully that might happen sometime this year. And I do enjoy his channel. If I had a choice of meeting him or Ian, I'd go for Matt. No offence to Ian, who won't be watching this and has no idea who I am, so it doesn't matter. I just would. Sorry. Just fell on my arse, Boaty. Oh dear. Pavements are brutal in Aberdeen. That's Steve Jamieson. Oh dear, hope you're okay, mate. And says Happy New Year, and Happy New Year to you. Update for the random Christmas present, says Matt. The knitted slippers are rather nice. Who knew? I would love a knitted slipper. KKC says Steph was very brave. I couldn't believe the abuse she used to receive. Yeah, that took me by surprise. That really shocked me as well. The odd comment, yeah. You know, I've had the odd comment, but the level that she was talking about, that is horrendous. absolutely horrendous. And, no wonder it got to her. No bloody wonder it got to her. The poor girl. Um, I mean, that really is just horrendous. Um, you know, to a certain extent, I suppose, if you put yourself out there in any way, shape, or form, then you know that you're going to be inviting criticism from a certain type of people. But to try and deal with that level and the level of unpleasantness that she was talking about, people were telling her to kill herself. Jesus Christ. No wonder that she took the decision she did when she was having to deal with that. And, you know, she obviously kept that. And I don't know her. I don't know her from Adam. Except, Adam was more naked. I don't know her. And I'll be honest, I'm not a devoted watcher of her channel. I just know her as one of the big motoring YouTubers. And, I see her posts knocking about on social media and stuff. God, yeah, that level of abuse. How do you deal with that? And she was obviously feeling low anyway, and to get that on top of it, I mean, that's how people end up doing, awful, tragic things. And I know we all talk about it. It's so easy on the internet, the keyboard warriors. I've been very, very lucky on YouTube, and obviously I'm quite small on YouTube. And everybody, you're all lovely. You're all absolutely lovely. God knows there's plenty you could rip me apart for, but you're lovely, and you're lovely in real life as well. Everybody I've met has been lovely, and I'm genuinely over the moon, thrilled skinny to have you as part of my life. But on my other thing, on my singles thing, which is a lot bigger, I've had a lot of shit on there. I think I've spoken about it before, and it tends to be a more competitive thing. It's male heavy and a bit alpha male, and I kind of used to get, I don't know, I used to get a bit of female attention that made people jealous, only because I talk. And I've done this rant a million times, I'm not going to do it again. But I'm not miserable and I talk, and that means you get a bit of attention. And the grief I've had off guys, seriously, I could show you some, you'd be amazed. And I'm a big hairy ass bloke. I can deal with it. Doesn't mean it doesn't get to you a little bit, but I can deal with it. And if push comes to shove, and this has happened, and somebody tracks you down, it's not difficult to find out where I live, God knows, and decides to want to try and beat 7 bells out of you, I'm a big lump, But, for women taking that sort of abuse, it's, just horrendous. But anyway, what I wanted to say was that she obviously kept all of that stuff private, and the fact that she's talking about the downsides that she's experiencing now, which she made clear were outweighed by the positives and the upsides, the fact that she's able to talk about it, I suspect means that she's dealing with it, and she's fine with it. And, that's great. She's happier, she's in a better place, and that's brilliant. So, there we are. Let's have a look. Simone is with us, Hooked on Classics. Good evening. Happy New Year to you. Thanks for joining us. Jimmy Quinn's first phone was a 1978 car phone. You were early. Matt says, any updates on finding a name for the Mabmock? I quite like Mabmock, but I can't remember what it stands for. Remind me, please. Because I remember I liked that, and I intended to remember it, and I didn't. I forgot it. So please remind me. I need to spend some time with it. Bear in mind, we picked it up on that Wednesday, and pretty much as soon as we got back to the yard, I had to get off because I had to get back to the restaurant. So Monday will be my first quality time with the caravan, temporarily known as Herman the German, or as somebody, which one of you was it, said it may come to be named when I've had an issue with a chemical bug or something, the Teutonic Twat. I think that was Jim on Facebook, Shoestring Shed. Excellent Blazing Saddles reference there. But no, when I spent a bit more time, then maybe a name will spring out. I mean, Mustard suggested Nigella, which I balked at because it's just a relation to Nigel thing, and it's not related to Nigel. Nigel is his thing. It's not a me thing or an us thing. Although when I found out that the caravan was German, I didn't. Forget that. It's not going to be Nigella. What are your ideas? You suggest it. There'll be some footage coming next week from Monday with the caravan. And I want to start trying to get my head around it, start trying to make it, because I'm going to take it out on Monday nights. I'm going to be doing overnight semi-wild camps, if you can camp in a caravan. And I'm going to be having adventures, so I need to bond with that caravan and figure out how it all works, how all of the doings work. So hopefully Jake will help me, and possibly Senior Mustard. But Mustard and I both need to get our heads around how to work the leisure battery and the elastic trickery, and how to get the gas all hooked up, and how to get the fridge freezer working and the cooker working and everything. So there we are. Let me see. Wishing Simona Happy New Year. Oh, Matt referenced Mustard today in the end of year review. I always watch Hubnut, but I think Matt's channel is better now. It's different, isn't it? Ian has sort of, Ian's become a family man, and his channel has morphed a little bit to incorporate the family, whereas Matt's is very much still a car channel, isn't it? I like them both. But if I had a choice of who to meet or who to meet first, it would definitely be Matt. It's 2003 pre-facelift body, but facelift interior is crossover year. That's actually Stuart talking about his S-Type Jag. Ah, there you go. You've taught me something. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know there was a crossover. So it's got the pre-facelift body, but facelift interior. Ooh, that would probably be close to my ideal in S-Type terms. Apparently Steph swears like a drain though. Never met the nice lady, so not a clue, but I'm sure a lot of us use the odd naughty word in real life that we might not use so much on YouTube. Simone says Steph's channel got big very fast. I've not been kind of all over it, so I don't know. I don't know, but she's doing great, and that's lovely. I'm watching on my phone, says Matt. You're not small, you're tiny. There is a lot to be said for mine host, Boaty, and that attracts many views. What was that? Right, is that some sort of compliment? Matt is a legend, says Steve. No probs getting out in the rain and snow to put decent material out, and such a sunny personality. That's true, isn't it? God knows he works in all weathers, and he's got a lovely personality, and I'm sure that it's genuine as well. It's not, there's nothing put on there for the camera. I'm sure he's just a lovely, genuine, nice guy, and you know, not a bad spanner jockey either, and certainly not afraid to get out there in the bad weather. Steph is fantastic, he goes on to say, but some god-awful people out there. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be sending a lot of love to Steph after that video today. Very brave of her. Simone says, luckily I haven't had any grief so far. That's good to hear, Simone. I must be honest, forgive me, I hadn't come across your channel at all. And equally, somebody mentioned Alex's assets, and I hadn't come across that either. But I watched one of yours last night or the night before, the one where you met Alex, and I really enjoyed it. And I've subscribed, and I will be catching up and watching the rest of yours. So thank you for well, thank you for somehow making me aware that you were there, and Alex was there, and the two of you were great together. So I hope you do some more collab work in the future. Madmock, Mustard and Boaty's Mobile Operations Command Centre. Yeah, I did like that. Boris the Buccaneer, captain of a Panzer division. Boris the Buccaneer. Call the caravan oldie or little. Not happening. Simone says I met Ian quite a few years ago at the NEC. And Mike says that Ian of Hubnut is a good guy. I'm sure he is a good guy. I'm absolutely sure he is a good guy. He lives in Wales. That's halfway there. I looked up Allport Height on Google to see why it's closed. The report says it's due to antisocial behaviour. It goes on to say it's closed due to doggers. That's not antisocial, it's a group thing. Allport Height, that's Yulgrave Way, isn't it? Allport is the little village halfway up the hill from kind of the bottom, well, from the A6 between Bakewell and Matlock, and you chuck a right and you go up to Yulgrave. I used to use Yulgrave Garage for my MOTs because what was his name? God, he looked like Noddy Holder. He was a spitting image of Noddy Holder. Ever such a nice guy. And he and his dad ran the garage. Oh, and they were lovely. And they had a car hire business as well, like wedding car hire. And his wife was the receptionist at New Home Hospital in Bakewell that my then wife managed. So all of my cars used to go there for MOT. He was ever so good. We used to just, you know, drive them to work to the hospital, and he'd pop down to the hospital, pick them up, and but yeah, Allport is, I'm right, aren't I? Allport is a little village halfway up that road heading up to Yulgrave, which is a lovely part of the world. As for dogging being a group, I'm not going there. There is apparently a very popular dogging spot near me. I took you there on a video probably the week before last, and I'm trying to remember what it's called, and I can't. But I did show you. It was, I think it was on the snow video. Can't remember what it's called, something woods. Anyway, we don't want to be talking about dogging on this lovely New Year's in the presence of ladies. Although I suppose ladies do dogging as well. They must do, otherwise dogging wouldn't be a thing, would it? unless it was just gay dogging, I suppose. But let's not get bogged down by who does what to whom and the privacy of their own motor cars. Thank you, Boaty, that's so kind of you. Oh, it's not. I genuinely enjoyed your video. Oh, maybe it's for subscribing, but yeah, I have subscribed. I'm really looking forward to watching your videos because I want to. KKC goes on to say, TC is a legend, Simone's Cortina. Yeah, I'm onto that, but I haven't seen any videos with it. I watched the one where she met Alex, and I want to find out all about the Cortina. It's oh God, I'm going to get this wrong now, aren't I? It's a Mark III estate, Simone. Am I right? I just had a quick flick through your other videos and saw bits of it. I hope I'm right. I'm sure it was a Mark III estate. If I'm wrong, don't shout at me. But I can't wait to catch up on those, and I will watch your videos, and I won't skip the adverts because you're monetized, aren't you? You're well monetized. You're way bigger than me, aren't you? Much more successful. Everybody's bigger than me. I just think as a viewer, Hubnut is becoming stale. I still watch them. It's kind of morphing, isn't it? We've talked about this before. Purely from a car point of view, it probably is a bit. And there are other things coming in, and it just depends whether you click on to those other things. I mean, I've got to say that I've backed off watching a lot of YouTube stuff purely because I'm kind of thinking about and doing my own so much more. So I'm not as slavish to Hubnut as I was. I don't watch every single one, and I don't watch them as soon as they come out. Who am I watching at the moment? I watch Matt's. I watch nothing to do with cars, but I watch IFL because I'm a huge boxing fan. Who else do I watch? I mentioned it earlier, Blot Outdoors. I'm loving that. There's another one. Oh God, what's it called? I can't remember what it's called, but it's a camper van one, and it's two ladies. They're married, and I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, I've started watching that. I watch Simon's, I watch Mustard's. I love Beards and Bangers. I love Rob's vids. He's going to be big, I tell you. He's going to be big. He's got amazing cars. He's got a really good presenting style. He's a lovely guy. I've not met him yet. He's one of the guys I'm hopefully going to be doing at least one collaboration with this year. But he's just such a nice guy, and he's so into the community side of things. He can't fail. He can't. He's going to be really good. Let me see. Oh yeah, apparently I was right about Allport. Yeah, it's a great spot, but I didn't realise it was a dogging spot. There's so many now, it's hard to avoid them. Well, if you can't beat them, Matt, join them. Mike says, good night, Boaty and everyone. Have a great 2023. Good night, Mike. Thanks for joining us. Happy New Year. God above, it's awfully late, my loves. Let's wrap this up near there, shall we? Let's start saying our goodbyes. It is, it's 25 to 2. I'm going to regret this in the morning. So good night, Mike. Steve Ball's off, gotta go. Knock the lights off when you're done. Happy New Year. Good night. Stephen DJ Boaty spinning all the oldies, mobile DJ services. Those were the days. Oh, I was right. It is a Mark III estate. Uh, oh, you have less subs than me. I thought you had more. I thought you were into the 2000s. Um, oh well. Um, New T-shirt for you. Boaty goes dogging. I'm not going. Believe me, I'm not going dogging. There are some things I'd do for YouTube. I'd draw the line at that. Oh, and Simone says, Shoestring Shed is good, very funny too. Jim is just a legend, isn't he? I'm amazed that that I didn't meet up with him last. It is last year now, isn't it? Because I can't wait for a get together with him and Mustard and you. I would like to meet you as well. But yeah, Jim's one on his own, isn't he? Bless him. Or Dinky Crittenberg the Third, or whatever the hell it is he's calling himself these days. His was one of those channels that I found by accident, and it was just one line that that pinged, and I thought, I like you. And yeah. KKC says, good night all, brilliant again, Boaty, thank you for that. Oh, no problem, I love doing this, absolutely love doing this. It's an absolute pleasure. Sorry if I've not been on the best of form tonight. I'm knackered, I'm absolutely knackered, and I'm hungry, and but we're almost all done, aren't we? Just tomorrow is New Year's Day, then there's the bank holiday Monday. So once we hit Tuesday, it's all done and dusted, and we can get back to normal and settle back into our nice, comfortable routine, and crack on with the new year. I'm just so excited about it all. I genuinely am. It's been fabulous this year, or certainly the second half of it anyway. I've loved it, and I'm so excited, and I'm determined to make the absolute best of next year. I'm not going to waste a single day and a single minute, and I want to do it all with you guys. We'll do the meets, we'll get some socials up. I'm going to take the caravan out on Monday night and rock up somewhere random, and you can come and join me if you feel so inclined. That would be fun. I'd love that. I love the idea of just parking the caravan up in a different place every Monday night. And whoever, if any of you are close, come along and we'll have a drink together and a chill out and do a video or something. But there we are. Gosh, it is 20 to 2. Ron McCulloch, good night, Ron. Thanks for joining us, mate. And let's chat more about those buses that you will be an expert in, and I want to learn about. The live stream is much appreciated. Oh, it's an absolute pleasure. Simone is back to work on Wednesday. Bad luck. I suppose that's a good thing about what I do. I haven't had any time off, so I don't have to go back to it. And it'll be like having a rest, just the fact that the restaurant will be more back to normal. God, it's been a hectic couple of weeks. Fun though, it has been great fun. Although I've missed having the extra little bit of time to do the YouTube stuff. But then it probably works out best because, the weather's a bit pants outside. Maybe you don't want to be out mucking about with cars. But 2023 starts now, and it's going to be amazing. And on that note, I will say good night to all of you. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. As always, it means the absolute world. Happy New Year to you all. Wishing you everything you wish yourself in the year ahead. Let's make it a bloody fabulous one, my loves. Anything else to tell you? No, don't think so. There'll be if you're not a member of the Facebook group, do join. Just search Facebook for Boaty's World, and there's going to be some toast rack stuff going on in there. And I'll let you know how Monday goes when I go and spend my first bit of quality time with the caravan and have my first lunch therein and try and figure out how the table works and everything. There we are. Good night, my loves. Have a great day tomorrow. Have a great bank holiday. And I will catch you, well, I'll catch you on Monday night, won't I? Monday Night Live, 11 o'clock. Don't miss out. Oh, I almost did a blot outdoors thing again then. No, get your own catchphrase, Boaty. Get your own catchphrase. Right, that's it. Good night, my loves. You take bloody good care of yourselves. And see you very soon. Bye-bye. Why does this button never work? Ah, there we are.